Carter Glasscock on assignment for the next couple weeks, and so we are happy to welcome back our next door neighbor, freshly showered it seems.
Yeah.
Daniel Magden, what's going on?
For you.
He specifically took a shower for the podcast.
For you, yeah, so people
Me
can
too.
smell me. And look, I'm gonna say it now while Carter's gone. I'm gonna say what everybody's thinking. I know I'm no Carter. I'll never be Carter. It's not gonna
You're
be
Daniel.
It's not gonna be quite as good. It's gonna from this end. Sam and Rivers are still gonna give that same classic output, but I'm gonna give that crazy pill junkie vibe as much as I possibly
And that's what
can.
we need here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Without Carter.
Yes,
Well, you're
that's what I bring to the table.
You're the different perspective guy. You're like
Yes.
you're like when 60 Minutes hires a guy who's 40.
My other than me, my oldest roommate is 24.
Jesus.
So it's interesting sometimes to just talk to them and find out what they know about, and what they think about things.
Me and Sam
Because I used to be their age, and I thought very similar to them. And now I look at them and just go, you fucking idiots. You're going to find out the hard way.
And that makes me think
just
I'll
like
be
I
fine,
did.
though. Because I'm like, if Sam made it, I'll be
Yes.
okay.
Then you can live with a 21-year-old when you're 32. I made it, dude.
Straight killing it.
Me and Sam had an interaction where he was like, yeah, somebody died really young.
They're like late 30s, early 40s.
And I started to be like, that's not young. And I was like, oh, wait, that's...
He doesn't know that that's not old because he's 23.
See, the real son of a bitch is you still feel 23.
That's what I was trying to tell him. You're 32 and you're mentally 23.
Yeah, you
still,
never-
in a bad way.
yeah. You never feel like you get older. In your head, it's just you just get sleepier sometimes.
You're like, damn, I'm the same amount of stupid. I thought people told me I was supposed to grow wise or something.
yeah. Nah, you just kind of stay the same. By the way, I'm trying to improve myself all the time.
We know.
And as we mentioned on the show, there is this ministry out of Eustis, Florida, Truth Triumphant, and they actually put out a request on the side of their. We talked about this on the show on their crazy pamphlet they sent to me. They were like, "Hey, for more information, send us back a letter." And I happen to have a stamp. So I sent it back, and they sent me their media pack.
They sent you their EPK.
I mean,
They spent a lot of money on that because that's like 5 binded books
It's-
with lots of pages.
It's a lot of
Not
color-
lots of pages,
lot of
but
color ink, I
more
see.
pages than you
It's-
would want in a pamphlet.
it's yeah, it's 4 books and then an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pamphlets. The total postage, I believe was $5, $4 or $5 for the
Man.
postage on this.
That's
Well,
got to
you're-
be another $4 or $5 worth of stupid pamphlets.
You're definitely the only guy who's ever contacted them for.
I mean, they hand wrote my name on the return thing.
Oh, that's nice.
That's some nice handwriting.
Yeah,
It's like
very
when
nice.
you order something off Etsy and they write you a note thanking you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go through these books eventually. National.
Yeah, like a long time from now.
He's gonna get radicalized by them.
yeah. You come in here and I'm quoting the Book of Hosea.
Did he
and
ever
shit.
call back when we left
No.
a voicemail?
Well,
Oh, I forgot
We
about
didn't leave
that.
a number. We just told him our name was Carter.
Well, I mean, it's the future.
Yeah, if
It's-
they're fucking using a
It's a cell
landline
phone.
without caller ID
Yeah.
at this point.
yeah.
which is very possible.
No, it's
Or what?
Confirmed.
Ulysses, Florida.
Yeah, Eustace.
Eustace.
Yeah. One of the books, the one that I'm most interested to read is called National Sunday Law. A shocking glimpse behind the scene. Forces unite amid stupendous crisis. Yeah, so this is that thing. You'll see these billboards down south occasionally where they say Saturday equals the Lord's Day, Sunday law is equal mark of the beast. And there's this there's this branch of Christianity that is very adherent to.
I feel like I've seen that.
It's
in,
always
in
like-
Mississippi.
Yeah, they had one in Auburn where I was from, and I was always like, huh? And it's basically this sect of Protestantism, I guess, that's trying to go back to the Jewish holy day, which is Shabbos,
which
on
makes
Saturday.
sense. Saturday.
Right, instead of Sunday, and so that's why I'm excited to read this one because I've never actually delved into what all that is or what they believe.
So they sent you some actually interesting information.
No, probably not. But I can at least something I can at least skim.
Is there pictures?
I don't know. I haven't opened it.
I mean, that is-
you really.
that is-
According to the binding, you have not opened this at all.
No. They sent me a book called "The Enemy Unmasked."
I wonder who
which
that is.
Looks metal as fuck. Look at the cover. Describe what that cover looks like, Daniel.
The cover is the people in Babylon. There's a lady with her child, and they're running from a city being destroyed.
Yeah.
But they're all wearing modern clothes, which is a take on modern society.
Mhm,
and there's a man who looks like Darth Sidious in the background.
There's
looking very sinister.
the back cover says an enemy has been stalking America for 200 years. She is about to apply the death grip from which America will never recover. The book in your hands tells who the enemy is. So, update to come on who the enemy is.
I'm going to make a solid guess of who the enemy is.
It's not going to be nice. Rivers, at first I was like, why the fuck would you read all of this stuff? And now I have found a paragraph that makes me think, Rivers, you got to read all this
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. Hit me. Oh, I know. Believe me.
So they're trying to explain why everything's going to shit in the country. Movies and internet garbage too horrible to mention fill the minds of young and old.
Mm-hmm.
He's right.
Prostitutes, homosexuals, and drug addicts share AIDS with the innocent. The poor,
We do.
the poor sufferers give groans of despair as they perish in ever greater numbers. A group of them, Life magazine reported,
What?
lying on
Life magazine.
lying on the floor in a circle and summoning some of their last remaining strength, laughed in sequence.
Oh, that's some shit from like the 60s. That's the Leary exposés, I think. That was like the
What?
original Satanic Panic.
These
I
people
think.
are definitely stuck in the 60s, it seems. Chapter 3, The Beast Described.
When was this book written?
Oh, who knows? But
Let me check.
I found a book one time that was just in
You
like
usually see on the back.
if you go into the
2019.
Oh wow!
What?
Okay, nice.
45 million in print, they claim.
I can't. Well, yeah. There's probably they've annoyed 45 million people with that book. I'm sure. I don't think anybody's purchased it. But yeah, the other books are Steps to Christ, which is just a nice forest on the cover.
that's
It looks
nice.
real chill.
Wait, can I see one of the steps to Christ?
Yeah. And then
I
finally,
want to give the listeners some inspiration. And I'm really in some need for some.
and then finally,
guidance.
this is the one that I'm really into. This one is called COVID-19: The Rest of the Story.
Oh my god!
And
Ooh.
it's a. I mean, considering we've only been doing this since March, it's a fairly thick book, and it's
There's a lot of books. There's the only thing that makes me suspicious about COVID is all the books and movies that have already come out.
this guy managed.
It's like they knew. They had the productions ready.
Like,
This guy managed to shit out 108 pages since March. Doesn't
I
that
can
make
do
you feel like
that.
you're slacking?
I've done that.
The-
Read my screenplays.
The big thing though that I wanted to
The
show
steps
y'all.
to Christ are boring. By
Oh,
the
I'm
way.
sure. Yeah, well, look at the cover. I mean, you got Apocalypse on one
It's the
cover.
same
you got
shit you
COVID-19.
see in rehab.
Yeah. But the thing that I really like here is that they've sent me. I'm supposed to do homework. They've sent me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests and worksheets that contain, and I'll put these on our Twitter so people can see it. They're all images of, Jesus and angels. I think this one's supposed to be Lucifer. He looks cool as shit.
Dude, he does look.
He kind of looks like the Fonzie. He's leaning up against a pillar like it's a record machine.
He's about to kick it.
He's about to kick it. Yeah. And a really
Some AIDS are going to fall down, and he's going to grasp them and smile.
a big ass somebody's gonna start wailing on a lyre. And then this one has angels flying over a city that looks pretty cool.
Whoever did these photoshops, please teach me how to Photoshop.
It's really
Because
great.
I want to make these types of images.
It's pretty cool. Although I will say, literally every single human form is white. They're all white in every one of these. Like they didn't even try.
well, you know that enemy they were talking about?
I found at the end of this book, there's you can clip out a coupon. It's not a coupon, but it's basically like a order form
Okay.
for more of these books.
Oh, good. Are they free?
No, they're free, but there's a suggested donation.
Oh well, there was probably.
So they're free.
I'm sure there
Yeah.
was a suggested donation for these.
If
too.
you want 1,000, they suggest you pay 50 cents each.
Oh my god!
for 1,000 of these.
So that's
And then they give you
that's what $50.
No, it's
Oh my-
$500. And then it says it gives the address you can send it. You may also tell the author how you feel about this book at his email address.
And we will.
my.amazing.thoughts@gmail.com. myamazingthoughts@gmail.com, of course.
That
So we're gonna email him, right?
Or at least sign him up for a bunch of porno.
send him a bunch of dicks. My amazing thoughts is very that almost sounds like one of those YouTube usernames. Like
That's.
Oh, yeah.
I bet
perfect.
he does have a YouTube channel. I bet he has a YouTube channel. Look up what's the guy's name?
it's Bill Hughes.
No, this is different. This is A. Jan Markuson.
And
Oh,
by the way,
ooh.
side note, it is illegal to send unsolicited dick pics, but it's not illegal to send pictures of animals having sex.
That's true. That's very true.
I learned that from a Eugene Merman bit.
How was y'all's weekend? Did you live through the earthquake? The earthquake?
Oh, dude, I already forgot that happened.
Yeah, I was.
Because that was on Friday night, right?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know, man.
Yeah, it was Friday night.
Everybody freaked out. Cooper freaked out, my new roommate. He's lived here his whole life. He said it was the worst earthquake he's ever felt.
And it was like his first full day at the house.
Yeah, he had been in the apartment for like one day at that point.
Shit.
And everything started shaking. The fridge seemed like it maybe was going to fall over if it continued for much longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. That big ass record shelf behind you.
I
Daniel,
was thinking about that.
That thing, if that earthquake had lasted another like 5-10 seconds, that thing would have tipped.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
dude,
you
shit
probably
was
could have
shaking.
held it.
But I'm
Okay,
sure that's
yeah,
the last
used
thing
all
you
your
should
weight.
be doing.
I was gonna
is
say.
an earthquake is
I
trying to
would
hold a
worry
heavy
about-
shelf in
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
Of vinyl, of obscure vinyl records. And you can just all this expensive podcast equipment. You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
the
yeah.
shout.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd say it's about. That's probably equal value. That's the
Yeah, that
the
is
sad
true.
part. Yeah. Especially if you factor in the computer for sure.
And I will say, I've combed through this many times, trying desperately to find a dud to mock you for.
Oh,
Haven't
yeah.
done
I'm-
it.
I don't know.
Haven't done it yet.
I got
You got a solid collection. I'll give you that.
Hey, you're
But,
one shelf down from my John Cougar Mellencamp. That might be. That might
I
be my-
mean, Mellencamp's got some hits.
all right, Daniel's in the club. All right, you're cool.
But I will say that while the earthquake was happening, Sam was heating up a dab.
Fuck yeah,
And
man.
as he was heating up a dab, the earthquake started happening. Things started shaking. Cooper started freaking out. I was like, "Do I need to put on my shoes? What's going on?" And Sam goes, "I'm gonna hit this dab." And then he continued to hit the dab while the earth was shaking.
Yeah.
that's true, and I will attest to that.
And I was totally calm. Also,
He was very calm.
And both everybody else in the room freaking out. I think I've just lived at this apartment long enough that nothing phases me anymore.
Yeah.
Like if the room would have fucking split open or something, I would have been shocked. But
Right.
just something like that is just like so fucking normal.
when all the alarms go off, and
that
like,
happened this weekend too.
yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
somebody-
next day, I thought the world was ending.
Somebody just pulled the stupid fucking fire alarm.
Yeah, it's because the garage gate was just open,
Open.
so just anybody could walk
Yeah,
in.
and there was one of those guys, classic man fighting invisible demons out in front of the garage right before this started happening.
Oh, is that what
Yeah.
it was?
I think he may have been
Oh, good.
And then
a
a fire
culprit.
hydrant was opened, or one of the pipes was opened.
One of the pipes
or there was
burst
some
or
type
something.
of. There was some trouble afoot
Really?
in the complex,
Yeah.
to say the least.
Yeah. It was a busy weekend here.
Yeah.
I had a busy weekend. I hung out with you.
Yeah.
We went up to Malibu and to the beach. What the other place? I couldn't remember the name.
We went to Malibu, Broad Beach, over in Malibu, a place I've talked about before, in between Pierce Brosnan's house and Alanis Morissette's house. No big deal.
Very nice. Very nice.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Chill beach, but then you look at the houses on it and you're like, oh, fucking rich fucks live
And
there.
well, no,
except for Alanis Morissette, you would think
Who's-
some hippy dippy
Canadian.
surfer
Were
lived
they
there.
just hanging out?
well,
outside?
no.
Pierce Brosnan was probably inside watching his 18 million security cameras I saw on the outside of
I
his
would
house.
not guess that Pierce Brosnan was still alive.
Apparently, he's a dick.
If you had to
The
ask me,
surfers,
right,
the surfers in the area say he's a dick. I
Yeah.
know a guy in Austin who
He's
would
a
wait,
kook,
who
if
would
you will.
wait on him
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah?
as a server, and they said he was very nice.
Okay.
And that he tipped well.
It might just be a thing of, the surfers are in front of his house, but
that's the thing about rich people who own beachfront
Right.
property is they think they own the beach.
right, which
Yes.
they're
And in a way, they do.
They should. That's what I think.
Well, I'm sure Pierce Brosnan and Alanis Morissette too probably got a big discount on those houses just via the nature of the fact that they are next to the one public entrance to the beach.
That's true. They are.
Like I was showing you when we got out there, like those beaches are effectively private because the houses are built right next to each other. So there's only like one or two public entrances that everybody
An
has
entrance
to use.
that looks like if you were entering like a caged-in basketball court,
Yeah,
or like a
yeah.
city park,
Yeah, and you could easily
or like a
miss it.
swimming pool. Yeah,
Especially at night, because I go out there to walk on the beach at night sometimes, and I've driven by that fucking entrance like 3 times. But yeah, that was the first spot. The second spot, we went up to Ventura County to Port Wainimi.
Oh, that was really nice.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
enjoyed that one. I watched
Welcome
the
back to
sunset.
Ventura Talk, where we talk about.
No, it was
spots
no.
of
The thing is,
valley.
it doesn't sound that interesting. But after you've been in the house for 2 weeks because
Yeah.
the world was on fire and you can't breathe the air and you can't see the sky, it was so nice.
I was
Yeah.
jealous of you.
It was so
guys.
nice just to
You're out having
sit in
good
a
time.
car, just to sit in a car and look at stuff pass by.
But in between those two beaches, the Broad Beach and going up to Ventura, we went to Neptune's Net, which is featured in The Fast and the Furious.
Which
The
one?
first one, number 1, The Fast,
good
and the
one.
Furious, the good one.
I haven't seen any of them.
They're not. None of them are good.
That's
Oh,
what I
they're-
figured. I've probably.
It's just
seen
one of those dumb
on
movie
TNT.
franchises children and morons enjoy. And I
love
know
it.
somebody who's listening to the podcast is pissed right
Yeah,
now.
I've
It's me.
No,
it's
I've,
me. I'm pissed. I go
I've
see those
definitely
opening
seen
night.
Tokyo Drift, and Tokyo Drift's a good time.
That's the only, well, if you like that, you're gonna really like the other ones. That's the only one I haven't seen. It's Tokyo
good.
Drift.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Fast 5, baby. The Rock and Vin Diesel, fucking slugging it out. What's not to love? But
Everything.
you're wrong. You're wrong. It's a great movie.
I mean, you're into good movies, then
If I was gonna waste my time watching a movie, it wouldn't be The Fast and the Furious.
I think I'm easily entertained, I suppose. But
they had good food. There's a bunch of bikers hanging out there at Neptune's Net.
there always are, yeah. So it's on the Pacific Coast Highway. It's across the street from Leo Carrillo State Beach.
Do you mean bikers or bicyclists?
bikers,
motorcycles.
Okay, because I had this thing with somebody the other day when they were talking about my bicyclists. I thought they were talking about bikers. They're like,
They were saying cyclists and
they're just saying bikers. They're like, there's these bikers out here. No one likes them. I was like, yeah, they're always fucking up on the freeway. They're like, there's bikers on the freeway.
Yeah, I would say cyclists versus bikers, but
Yeah.
that's just me. But yeah, it's on the PCH, and it's in that movie, and they got good fried shrimp, and we're like, hey, we'll go get, because they don't have indoor dining, obviously, we're like, oh, we'll go get this to go.
They don't have indoor dining, and there's signs that say "Don't eat on the property," and it's just nothing but people standing around eating and drinking beer
with their hands
in a parking lot. Yeah,
That sounds fun.
But I knew, like, right up the street, there's this place, Point Mugu, which is this big rock formation that's like right on the point, right on the line of Los Angeles and Ventura County. And I was like, oh, we'll go there, we'll park, sit on the rocks and shit. And we get there, and we open up. We're sitting on the edge, looking out over the ocean, and the waves are breaking.
we'd
rocks
have to
below.
chase off a seagull to get into the spot.
Yeah,
in
there
the
was
first place.
Yeah, it was. I should have known, because there was one seagull sitting on the rock, and I think I literally said, I was like, I'm gonna get that seagull to move off that rock, and we'll put our shit down there.
Uh-huh.
And so the seagull kind of flies away, and we sit.
How'd you chase the seagull? Just
kind of,
Just it's a seagull.
It
They're
fucked
not.
off.
Yeah, they're not too fucking aggressive.
It's so funny.
Well,
seagulls are aggressive. What are you
I was
talking
about to
They
say-
fuck you up.
can be.
I was gonna say
I'm scared of seagulls. That's why I was curious. I was like, I wouldn't charge up.
Well,
I wouldn't run
so-
up on a seagull.
So the
They'll
seagull,
fuck you up.
The seagull, before he knew that we had food, was like, "Okay, I'll move." But as soon as we sat down and he smelled the food, he gets really close, and
and so do all his friends.
yeah. So there's just like a bunch of birds kind of like hopping in our direction.
Sounds like a great time.
And doing the classic seagull just float there in the
Oh
wind.
no, not yet.
Oh, that wasn't
No.
happening yet?
No, they were just getting curious, and I fucking threw a fry in
Which
the
I feel bad about because I suggested this. I was like, you should throw it a fry.
Yeah. I threw a fry just like over the seagull's head to try to get him to move in the
Yeah.
other direction, which that in turn caused all of them to take off into the air.
Yeah, the seagulls are like, wait, there's food coming out?
Food, and they are now hovering.
You just let them know that you're willing to feed them.
Yeah, it was
I
a
know.
mistake. It was a big mistake.
and,
In the moment, it didn't seem like a bad idea.
the turnaround from
I would have
this
done
is-
that. I could see where the logic comes
the
from.
turnaround from I'm gonna throw this fry at this seagull to this was a horrible idea was like under 2 seconds because I threw it, all the seagulls
Yeah.
go into the air and they're all just hovering above us like because it's
Which
right
we don't really realize
Yeah,
at
yeah.
first.
It's like birdemic.
and and it's right on the ocean, so it's just that steady wind. So they're not flapping their fucking wings or anything; they're just floating right above us. And then a seagull took a gigantic shit directly on the middle of my shirt.
I was just looking over and I saw it. I saw something come down, and Rivers was like, "What the fuck?"
Did it get in your food?
That's another thing.
Part of it. So I was wearing my Clash London Calling T-shirt, and man, that shit landed directly on Paul Simonon.
Man, if I knew
He
who
was
that
trying
was,
to, he was trying to
I would
smash
be
a guitar
so
and he got
upset.
shit on by a
Was
bird.
that the Clash? Was
Yeah.
that their? Okay.
yeah.
okay,
So
okay.
the album cover was it's
Oh, them. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
their
yeah.
bass player smashing his bass, Paul Simonon.
Okay.
That's where the bird shit. It could not have been more directly in the middle of my chest.
That's
And
that's fantastic.
The liquid part of the poopy stayed on my shirt, and then a piece of the solid flicked off and landed on a ketchup pack, one shrimp, and one fry. And it was in one of those boxes that are separated by pockets.
Oh,
So I was just like,
Those
all right,
contain-
top
yeah.
left pocket, that's no go zone. I'm gonna toss all that stuff. And so I threw that to the rest of the birds,
even the parts that didn't touch the poo.
huh? Oh, I ate that part, baby.
Okay, I was about
the
to
poo
say
was
you-
quarantined in the little pocket.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of the because it was one of those trays. It was a
Because
clam
it's
Three
little.
compartment tray.
3-compartment clamshell tray.
There's
yeah.
definitely at least like a half-second rule with poo. Like if
Oh, he
poo
got
touches
he got rid
something,
of
you
it fast. To
could-
Rivers'
like-
credit, he immediately realized that was the main concern.
Oh yeah, no, y'all didn't. Y'all didn't believe me at first. I was like, "Up, he shit on me," and like there was like a 5-second delay. I think Courtney was just like, "Wait, did he shit on you?" I was like, "Yeah, he shit right." Oh yeah, and at that point, I was like, "Let's
Yeah.
go to the car."
Dude, I
Yeah,
was at,
we went to the car
the
pretty
birds,
quickly after
the
that.
birds won immediately. We retreated instantaneously. Waterloo, it was not.
I was at the train stop one time and I just felt like a thump on my head.
Oh.
And I just didn't think anything of it. I just thought like it was like about to rain or something.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know. And then I went, did an open mic. I was hanging out with my friend. We were at Jack in the Box. He goes, "Hey, I think there's something in your hair," and like I feel my hair.
Oh, no.
And there's just a
Oh,
big old
dude.
pile of bird shit.
man.
And yeah, I went and did the open mic. Talked to a girl that I liked for like 30 minutes, with just bird shit in my hair. Like,
Did you pull her number?
I did, but
Fuck yeah, man.
Nice, bro.
Hell yeah.
She's into some freaky shit.
Yeah, no, she never responded. It was a number out of politeness.
Yeah.
It was
Wanted just a fake number.
yeah.
I feel bad because he has bird shit on him, and he doesn't seem to realize it. Turning him down for a date would also be too cruel.
It took at least 6 hours for me to know that there was bird shit in my hair.
Oh, dude,
So
that's
it was like
so
crusty
long.
by the time.
Damn, I touch my hair too, like the sides of my head too often to let bird shit
Yeah, I
be
was
in
gonna
my
say,
head
That
that long.
It was bad.
But then the good part of Rivers getting shit on is that he didn't have another shirt. All he had was like a jacket.
Yeah.
So then he just wore a
stripped down.
jacket with no shirt underneath. And it honestly looked cool.
Yeah.
I bet it did.
Rivers looks cool wearing a almost zipped up all the way.
Rivers, you can go for a bad boy look.
Yeah, yeah.
It works. He's got enough
Jacket
chest hair to look cool with it kind of pulled down, you know?
Dude, I did a tour one time with these people from they were like the most Jersey people of all time, and it was that part of the summer, like early summer in LA, where it's like kind of cool in the mornings and then it kind of gets hot in the afternoon, sort of a thing.
Uh-huh.
And I picked him up, and this guy, he was wearing this hoodie, and we were driving around, and it got to be around lunchtime. And he's like, "Oh man, I'm fucking sweating, man. Is there anywhere we can like stop so I can get a t-shirt?" And I was like, "Oh, just take off the hoodie, man." He's like, "I don't got anything underneath it." I was like, it's June in LA. What are you doing?
Dude, wearing a hoodie with no shirt underneath is so uncomfortable. I don't know if it's actually uncomfortable or if it's just a shock to my system because I do it so rarely.
Yeah, I've done it once. I was like, I don't like this.
It feels like you're doing something wrong, like committing a crime.
It's like
a crime that you feel bad about committing.
It's what you do when you're not wearing a shirt, but then your food's delivered and you just need something to throw
and you're
on
like,
real
"Where's
quick."
my shirt? Fuck, I can't find it. Here's a hoodie."
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I technically have that bathrobe there, but I almost never use it. I got it at Walmart one time. I was like, I could use a bathrobe, and then
you have no reason to leave your room.
That's true. Yeah, well, I got to get drink,
water
food.
sometimes.
I mean, I would just only wear a bathrobe if I had one.
Yeah.
See, we've talked about this before. Wearing a bathrobe with 3 roommates is the fucking wild style shit, dude. Like, that's a level of comfort you shouldn't have living with 3 roommates to just be walking around like making your morning coffee in a robe.
I had
That's like what my mom would do.
When I lived with 8 people, I had a roommate who would do that, and I was like, "What are you doing, man?" Like,
That's kind of cool. I want one of them silk kimonos.
It would be
fucking
it'd be
ridiculous.
less weird if you were just walking around in boxer briefs and a white tee. If you're doing that, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. The robe is just like, I hope you're wearing something underneath that.
oh no, you wear stuff underneath the robe, but it's like just casual wear, you know. No one's raw dawing a robe,
Dude, you'd be shocked.
Yeah.
You'd be fucking shocked.
Depends on how comfy the robe is.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
true.
it depends
Terry
on the
cloth,
material.
terry cloth.
Silk?
You want that everywhere.
Oh, buddy. Yeah, silk robe?
You never take that off.
No, you live in that. You get buried in that.
Dude, I want to be buried in a robe with just like a sailor's hat on,
Yeah, dude.
and a little pipe.
Dude, I live in other like countries where they have like different cultures regarding the dead, and they'll like put sunglasses and like cigarettes in their mouth and shit in the coffin.
Oh, dude.
It looks so badass.
Well, one of my favorite graves I've ever seen is in Pierce Brothers Cemetery. So when I was
here in LA?
when I was doing tours, that cemetery has a shitload of famous people in it. It's like where Marilyn Monroe is buried, and Dean Martin, and there's a bunch of famous people. And so I'd have to give tours of that sometimes, and I always pass by this guy's grave walking from the like Walter Matthau, Rodney Dangerfield side of the graveyard to Marilyn Monroe's side. And it was a guy, it's an Asian gentleman who looked to be fairly young. And he got one of those graves where, like, I think he died in like 2011 or something, and he had one of those graves where they etch his picture on the grave.
That's a bold move, but you gotta be pretty good looking and get.
Well, that's the thing.
They
can make you prettier.
Yeah, well, he's not a bad looking guy, but the picture they use, for some reason, the only good picture, I guess, that they had of this guy, he has sunglasses on his head.
That's infuriating. Whoever
so
did
funny.
that should be fired.
It's so
That's
funny.
a good way to be remembered, though. What if they were like, he is always wearing sunglasses? That's his prize pair of Ray-Bans. He wouldn't want to be buried
Those
without
were
those.
his sunglasses.
But I'm talking about places that straight up will open coffin, let a body mummify, and they're just coming by sticking lit cigarettes in his mouth and putting empty bottles of liquor next to him.
Yeah, I think that's fucking awesome.
That's fun to me.
Speaking of the really recently deceased, Sizzler USA, one of the country's first casual restaurant chains, has filed for bankruptcy.
Oh, and before I ever got to eat there.
The 62-year-old company said it filed for Chapter 11 because of COVID-19, which forced it to temporarily close its restaurant's dining rooms. Sizzler USA also had problems paying the rent. But here's the good news, Sam. The filing is only for the 14 company-owned restaurants, not for its international locations or its 90 franchised U.S. restaurants.
Oh, that's good. Hopefully the one down the street is a franchise.
Yeah.
So I can go eat a overpriced, very shitty meal one day.
Well,
I've never been to Sizzler. What is Sizzler?
They have a salad
like
bar. Apparently,
Applebee's?
the salad bar is the thing.
that's the thing. So Sizzler for years used to be able to get a combo where it was the steak and the salad bar, and but the steaks suck, So after years and years, they just
as you could imagine from a place called Sizzler.
Yeah, well, that sounds good. That's a sizzling steak. That sounds delightful.
Well, so after years and years, they separated those two things of the menu. So now you have to get an entree and a salad bar, which is way too expensive. So
Yeah.
the move is just to get the salad bar, because the salad bar has tacos and wings and all kinds of shit. So it's essentially an all-you-can-eat buffet with kind of a limited option.
I like this.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's the closest thing we've got to a all-you-can-eat buffet that's like walking distance from
I miss
from here.
buffets.
Oh man,
I
Yeah.
just
We'll never
can't.
have them again.
I know.
Probably not.
And even if we do, like,
They won't be as good.
They won't be as good, and you'll feel guilty the whole time you're there.
Well, you'll be scared.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to eat at a buffet, even if COVID gets fixed, for probably like a year without feeling like massively uncomfortable.
Right.
It's gonna be hard. I
Because you're
will
going
go,
around, you're touching
but-
spoons other people have been touching.
It's gonna be like
Lord knows what else has gotten on everything around the buffet area.
Yeah, it's gonna be like an amusement park ride, like the Tunnel of Love or something, where you can only go in two at a time. They'll just
that's
send
not,
you through.
That's not a bad move, actually.
Yeah.
I like it.
The tunnel of obesity.
And then it spits you out into the parking lot where all the tables are.
Tunnel of Flub. They
Hey,
call it.
there it is. There it is.
Hey.
We found it.
It took a second, guys, but we got there.
You thought we weren't gonna get there? Well,
One of the three of us was going to find something.
I got this. This is from Nashville. And this was sent to us by our friend at JM Janks. Former Nashville council member Tony Tenpenny has died due to complications of COVID-19. Vice Mayor Jim Schulman confirmed on Sunday. Tenpenny was hospitalized for more than a month at one of the St. Thomas hospitals and was placed on a ventilator earlier in September, and he died overnight, Schulman said on Sunday afternoon. Tenpenny served on the Metro Council between 2011 and 2015 and was a conservative member of the city's governing body and represented District 16. He unsuccessfully ran for re-election last year. So any guess as to what this guy was talking about right before he died?
Does it start with a C and end with a 9?
It does, yeah.
Child's Play Part 9?
July 29th. Wearing a mask signals one of two things. Either A, I have been manipulated to live in irrational fear, or I am willing to be controlled by a socialist agenda.
Yep.
This was another one from July 7th. What the fuck? Really? You have to be kidding me. The CDC and the WHO are pure lying asses. They're not telling you the truth.
So basically, the news story is that an old man died.
Not that old. Not even that old.
Wait,
But,
how old was he?
let's see.
Because this sounds like
60-something?
that is an old dad. Like, that's like a stupid old man. Like, that's.
But
you're
the
gonna
thing
get
is,
sick.
like, my parents are in their 60s. They've gone out of their way not to get sick because
Right.
they know it's a very stupid idea
Yeah, I
for
guess,
somebody that
yeah.
old to get sick. It's one of those guys we've talked about on this podcast the whole quarantine where they act so tough that they would huff COVID to prove that they could
Yes.
beat it or something. And this is one of those guys who wants to get COVID to show you it's not a big deal. But plot twist, it's kind of a big deal for some people.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
only for some people. The rest of
Yeah.
you, go on out.
And
Go.
only people who died. They're the only ones who have issues with it. All these people with organ damage, they're fine.
I
Yeah.
mean, that works out.
I can't find in this article where it says how old he is.
What was it? Was Tony Titular?
Tenpenny.
Tony Tenpenny.
That
I
sounds
love the last name Tinpin.
like
I
an
gotta be
old timey
honest.
gangster. Did you ever hear about Tony Timpany?
There he
I
is.
love
Speaking
this
of laughing
man.
at ugly, stupid-looking people, this is a perfect candidate.
Yeah,
for
there
that.
he is. So it looks to be in his like 50s, maybe.
Yeah.
Mid to
Tony
late 50s.
Tin-
Definitely too
Tenpenny.
young to be dying of COVID.
Right, 100%. Yeah. Yeah. Tenpenny just remember that's Samuel L. Jackson's character in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Ah, yeah, he's the bad guy.
Yeah, he's the bad
I forget
guy.
that he was in that.
Yeah, he's the big bad. A couple other things. Let's see. Why did we shut down a $22 trillion economy for a 0.01 death rate? Why? And then his last tweet ever, what's going on? I have an idea. The Trump supporters will get the hydrochloroquine and the Democrats will get the Bill Gates vaccine.
Fuck yeah.
That was his last thing before he got COVID and went into the hospital.
Today, I saw somebody on Twitter say the Wayans Brothers show wasn't funny, and then I clicked on their profile, and their first tweet there was about how Bill Gates was trying to kill us all. And I was just like, okay, I see why you didn't find the Wayans Brothers funny.
Wait,
you are
Do
racist.
the Wayans brothers have a show? Like a new one?
No, they was talking about the old one.
Okay. Oh, I was like getting excited.
And
I was
you know
like, ooh.
what? The Wayans Brothers show is fantastic.
It's great.
And
It's very funny.
that's so funny that Bill, like, in conspiracy circles, there's always like a boogeyman, like a bad guy.
And it's always a rich guy who doesn't agree with whatever they are trying to say.
For a while, well, I remember like when I first started getting into conspiracies in high school, just because it's fun to like think about aliens and shit. But the big bad guy was Obama, and then it slowly started to become like racist. But like, it was very like the government is out to get us. So boy, look what these politicians are doing, and then it became very specific, like Hillary Clinton's gonna destroy the world. That now it's moved on to then it was George Soros.
Well,
now
people
it's
like a
Bill
figurehead.
Clinton.
It's easier to hate a single person than like an Antifa.
Right.
You know,
right.
It's easier for them to be like Hillary Clinton controls Antifa, and then it can just be mad at her instead of just random strangers.
Yeah,
And
they don't even know their name. How could they be mad at them?
To post on social media that you will not take a microchip vaccine from your smartphone that is microchipped. And
it records everything you say.
That's like, and I know that's like at this point probably a hack point to bring up. But people keep saying that they're gonna get
the thing that
vaccine?
reads your fingerprint and the way your face looks to unlock your phone.
You spend every waking moment on.
It knows everything about you.
We just talked about on the other podcast. What did you learn about the Netflix documentary, The Social Dilemma? So I can actually throw this right back in the face of liberals too, because when that movie came out, it was a bunch of, it's basically telling you like Silicon Valley specifically has organized social media in particular to drive everyone insane for the purpose of selling advertisements.
Yeah, makes sense.
Which
definitely is what ended up happening.
I thought that was just common knowledge.
Yeah, I did too. But but what I'm saying is this movie came out and a bunch of people who've never thought about this before are like, oh my God, I'm deleting Facebook. And it's so funny because it's like, yeah, they've got you though. The only way that you can become a neo-Luddite is if you fucking get get a Walter White burner flip phone, and even that's got
the grid, baby.
Go
off the grid.
Completely off the grid. It's all or nothing.
Rivers is saying is that the Unabomber was right.
Yeah,
the thing is, the Unabomber was right.
He was absolutely right.
But it's just he went about it in the wrong way.
That's
what he theorized ended up being pretty correct.
Yeah. No, I've read. I'm a big fan of manifestos. I read them all.
I try to. You should read mine sometime. It's pretty good.
I took one of the last history classes I took was technology, literacy, and culture, and it was taught by this big environmentalist lady, and she had us read the Unabomber Manifesto, and similar to the Christopher Dorner Manifesto.
Here's the assignment: find something wrong here.
Yeah, kind of. Similar to the Christopher Dorner Manifesto, it's like I agreed with it right up to the point of he's like, so therefore I must kill everyone, and you're like, wait, what? Hold on. So that's why I'm kind of stoked to read. You
got sent a manifesto.
National Sunday Law Forces Unite amid stupendous crisis. There could be some good shit in there. You never know. But yeah, as far as conspiracy theories and stuff go, for a long time, the popular concept of conspiracy theories was kind of a, for lack of a better word, sort of like a left-wing kind of idea.
Yeah,
and then
hippies with all these crazy ideas.
Right, and then it firmly migrated to a right-wing thing. Like you said, I would lay that pretty squarely at the feet of the election of Barack Obama, suddenly radicalizing a bunch of people who were like, black guy.
Yeah,
I kind of watched it happen. It was weird, like watching it go from like the fucking George Bush is a lizard person and Tupac faked his death, and you're like, oh shit, and then it's like 2 years later, they're like, Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton eat children's faces.
Right.
They're in the basement of a pizza parlor molesting your kids right now.
I did buy into that for like 6 months.
I drove by that pizza parlor, actually.
Was it good?
No, I didn't eat there. It was like 2 a.m. I was leaving a show in Richmond.
Did you stop by, get some action?
There's nothing open. I was leaving a show in Richmond.
No, that's what they want you to think.
That's the one that's most active.
Yeah.
At 2 a.m.
That's the Podesta special.
Pista?
Yeah.
And the fucked up part is the idea that there is an underground pedophile ring run by extremely rich and successful people is so true.
Yeah.
It's fucked up because that's so true.
And that's the thing at this point.
But and that's the part about conspiracies. A lot of time is part of it's true, and then the rest of it starts getting wrapped up and crazy.
Yeah.
Right, and it can get easily absorbed by people with a different agenda other than just like the truth.
I want to protect children.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, the QAnon thing. It's like,
Trump is just trying to save
bingo.
children.
The part where you somehow have to exclude Trump from this, and you're like, dude, he's also a rich guy. It's not like
who's hanging out with all those other pedophiles.
That's the biggest conspiracy of all. Like this rich guy somehow got rigged into the presidency and then is making every billionaire richer while also destroying the fucking working class.
Yeah.
That's the biggest conspiracy of all time.
Right.
That's the old school.
Yeah. Nothing. That's like
That's not
20
even-
Benghazis. Like that's.
Yeah. By the way, this is the last like COVID related thing that I have that's kind of fun, and it's from kind of y'all's neck of the
It's
woods.
that I have it. I have COVID. That's the announcement.
Lindale, Texas, which is near Tyler, Texas.
Oh, I know that. I know Tyler.
I know Tyler, yeah.
After the cancellation of the 36th annual Country Fest in Lindale due to COVID-19, the Lindale Area Chamber of Commerce searched for a way to help out local businesses. Out of the search came a new festival, the Launch Local Festival, which will be celebrated October 10th, the same time when Country Fest would have happened.
So they just started
the
a new
loophole is
festival?
just a new fest. They passed a law
Changed the
specifically
name?
about the one festival, not public gatherings.
Yeah. So Shelby Glover, Lindale Chamber President and CEO, said the Laugh Local has been the motto for the chamber since opening back Texas began in May due to the effects of the pandemic. Country Fest serves as a major revenue generator and greatly benefits the economy. Many local vendors, wineries, and food trucks have signed up to be a part of the new festival, Glover adds. So basically they were having this like country music festival, and this one they're just like, we're just gonna have the festival without the country music.
Yeah.
But everyone's invited and it's free.
Well, that does sound better.
Just a bunch of vendors, just a place to go spend money and a large group
And
of people
give each
now.
other COVID, yeah. So it's not even like you're not even
So
taking
It's
in.
not even an
It's
event.
Walmart. You're going to the store.
Yeah. It's not even like a cultural event. Like before, it's like, all right, well, we'd have this music festival, so maybe you could, watch some music and feel your heart spring a step. And in this one, it's like, go spend money at, with there's a guy selling popsicles.
The candy apple store really depends on this event to stay open the whole year. So
People don't talk about this, but Corona really took a chunk out of the caramelized popcorn
I was
industry.
about to say, my mama poured her last dime into the popcorn store. And now,
If big kettle corn don't get bailed out,
And this
I
is just
don't know what we're
another great example of how poor the economy is in this country. If a fucking music fest doesn't happen over one weekend in a year in a super small town, they're fucked.
And they're fucked.
They're fucked.
Yeah. So instead, they're all just gonna get together and do the same thing.
It sucks that they're doing this, but it's almost not their fault.
Well, that's what I've said that before on the podcast. You feel bad for these people because it's not their fault. If they didn't have to reopen, they wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
If they were secure financially, they wouldn't be like, fuck them.
And that's the thing about everybody. If everybody in America was just secure financially, we would have just been like, all right, we'll just stay inside for 3 weeks.
It's
and then
all
we would have
because
figured out COVID.
The
And
government
then-
mishandled everything from local all the way to federal.
Yeah, absolutely. Glover said Launch Local will not replace the long-standing tradition of Country Fest, which is set to return in 2021. So,
Launch
yay.
local.
Well,
Celebrate local businesses.
Who books
by-
that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do they
good
do a
question. Yeah.
Comedy stage.
Comedy
or-
stage. Well, it's, part of it, there's no bands on the road right now, too. No one's touring. It's like, so...
Oh yeah, you end up with like a Smash. The groups that'll come like Smash Mouth and Trapped and shit.
Yeah. Although I guess a country festival would be maybe easier to book as far as that goes.
Which
but-
one's Trapped? Are they the one that responds to everybody on Twitter?
Yes, yeah, they
Headstrong,
Headstrong.
fuck your mom.
Yep. That's them.
Headstrong, I'll fuck anyone's mom.
Got another story from New York. This one's just fun because it's sort of the similar idea of reading citizen updates, but this one's even more unhinged. A Manhattan subway train derailed Sunday morning after a maniacal laughing vandal tossed metal clamps onto the tracks.
Whoa, that's
Police
fucked up.
said.
That could have killed a lot of people. But I also like that they added maniacal.
Oh, yeah. That's why I pulled this story, because the description is just so good. The clamps, known as D-plates, are normally used to secure tracks to a roadbed. Police sources said the ones thrown onto the tracks have been left behind by MTA work crews. The alleged saboteur, Demetrius Harvard, 30, of the Bronx, tossed them onto the tracks, but a bystander leapt onto the roadbed to clear the debris before the train pulled in. Harvard, who has an extensive criminal history, was undeterred. He threw more clamps just as the A train roared into the station. Commuters saw the suspect laughing at the disaster he had unleashed, sources
As he
said.
twirled his mustache.
And said it's fun to do bad things.
Realistically, it was probably an insane homeless person.
I mean,
Or just
Yeah.
on drugs.
Yeah. Good Samaritans held him at the station until cops took him into custody. 3 passengers suffered minor injuries. So this is one of those where no one got hurt. You can just kind of be like, wow, crazy guy, going all
Crazy
And it
guy,
could happen
just some
to
big
anyone.
city stuff.
Yeah,
just
you
some.
know.
That's some crazy shit when you take the public transportation in a big city. Like, you'll just be like, there'll be times where I'll take the train and I'm just the only person on the train station besides like
Yeah.
3 or 4
Oh,
like,
yeah, and you're
very aggressive home like
Oh, dude.
I don't want to and I
if
don't
you're
want
on
to
the
say I don't want to
train-
be around homeless people, but I don't want to be around 3 a.m. red line LA homeless
And yeah,
people.
that's if you don't understand the red line too. It goes an extremely far distance all throughout the town.
Oh, yeah.
And at night,
you could just sleep on it
at
too.
night, at night, all the stations are open and nobody's down there. Like,
Yeah.
if you were gonna murder somebody in a public area, those train stations, especially the ones around
Yeah.
here, would be perfect.
There are
Oh, yeah,
no
yeah.
cops. Like, I mean, I've never paid to get on the train. I just,
you don't have to
I
at
mean,
all.
yeah, like, I mean, somebody was assaulted at this train stop, like
All the time.
Yeah, like,
all the fucking time.
Oh, we've got Citizen. I hear about
Daniel
it.
doesn't because he's too scared. And
Oh,
if I
that's
ever
right,
tell him
that's right.
anything about it, he's like, dude, you should just delete that app.
I mean, why
I don't
would
need
you
to hear
want
that
to
a
know
man's
that?
throwing bricks onto the freeway 500 feet away from us.
Why would you want to know that?
It's
why would
fun
you,
sometimes.
Hey,
life
And then
is-
other times it's like you think, man, I want to go to the Jack in the Box, and you grab your phone and like, oh, there's a guy swinging a samurai sword down there. I guess I shouldn't go.
I save all of mine, and I just have a bit where I just read them, just because of all the weapons that I've seen on there: baseball bat, wooden sword, a golf club, metal pole, pellet gun, stick, 3 separate machete incidents, a pipe.
And threes, that's a conservative.
Dude,
It's more like 300
Oh, it's
machete
three- it's
incidents
three-
at this point.
You also
3 a
just
day.
burnt a whole half hour of material.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then my favorite was just a report of smoking trash, and I wasn't
Oh,
sure.
dude, there's
And I wasn't sure if they meant the trash was on fire or if some crazy guy was actually trying to smoke garbage.
I get a trash fire notification every single day.
I mean,
Every
there's
single
always.
day.
I imagine there's constantly. I would not be surprised if this whole block is lit in flames.
Well, it's
within
not
the
even
end of the
not
year.
even this block. It's when you go on the other side of the 101. It's crazier, actually.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So a lot of the trash fires happen over there, and a lot of the assaults and shootings happen on the other side.
Yeah, a lot
on
of-
the Mexican Village side.
A lot of the real
Classic
trash
open
fires
mic
happen
venue.
at the Mexican
Yeah.
Village when Sam's on,
On
stage.
Tuesday nights at 7 p.m.
Oh man.
Except they love to put me up last there.
Yeah, every time I went there, I went up like.
Did they
late.
rig the bucket?
Of course, Peter, the host, says he likes when I go up last because I can do good.
Who gives a shit? Who fucking cares? What does that mean?
Dude, sometimes you got to go up and crush it for the 3 people.
Yeah,
and
that's
2 of them are hosts.
That's irrelevant at an open mic.
That's
That
so
only-
funny, 'cause
They just like to keep me around because
That
they
only-
have fun when I'm there.
that only matters at a show where people are there,
Yeah.
like real people. It's not a. Oh my god.
I went up after you or before you, whenever they were putting up people up real late at Mexican Village,
Uh-huh.
and he was like, "Dude, that was great. Let me know. I'll put you up real early next time." Maybe he just doesn't like you.
Nah, he likes me. He hated me at first. He wanted to fight me when we first met.
Dude, I swear, right before COVID started, I went to Mexican Village and tried to get in under the wire to get that early sign up or whatever, and I didn't get it. I was like, oh man, dude, I'm for sure coming back next week, early as fuck. And then everything was like, nope, done.
And unless you show up like an hour early, that pre-sign up is so hard.
And
to
I would
get on.
only go like after the improv, so I would be like guaranteed last.
I like Mexican Village just because it's close
it's fun.
by.
That was a good
I had
place.
fun. A lot of my friends went there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the hosting there with the lineup wasn't always great.
I got this one. This story is just so funny to read, and then when you see the image, it's even better. So this is from Spokane, Washington. A local grandmother wanted to surprise her grandson and daughter with some Halloween treats, but upon further review of her order, she now feels that it's more like a bizarre trick.
Whoa.
Quote, "My daughter and her son love Halloween," Mary Miller said, "and it's almost my daughter's birthday. So..."
That's such a funny, irrelevant detail that matters to zero people.
I love Halloween. It's such a good time. It's my daughter's
Well,
That's
that-
nearly.
Well, I think that's just meant to explain the nature of the gift and how it's early for Halloween season. So many are already starting to celebrate and decorate for the upcoming holiday. Miller wanted to make that easier for her family. Quote, "I ordered some pumpkins from Amazon," she said. "They look really cute and everything, and she thought they'd be perfect for her young grandson." They were these 3 pumpkins. They light up from the inside, and they sing, and they tell jokes and stuff. But now she is not
Oh,
laughing.
like the kinds you get from like Walgreens or
Yeah,
CVS.
it's just like some light up like
some
pumpkins.
seasonal display.
What do they all just make racist jokes all the time?
That's what I was like wondering. I was like, what jokes are the pumpkins telling? But now she is not laughing. Quote, "It just made me feel sick to my stomach, not only because it's a sick joke, but because it's being delivered to my daughter and grandson," she said. What exactly will be in that delivery has this grandma extremely nervous. Quote, "The other day, I went to check and see if they were on their way, and when I went to look at the pumpkins on Amazon, it now shows these pandas. These adult pandas, they're all crying, and they're looking, and there's a baby panda that's hanging by a rope. Below it shows a bigger panda with a human face pointing at a casket."
Wait, what? Is this a picture? What's happening?
So she goes back to look at the status of her order, and in her email, where it would normally show the 3 pumpkins that she ordered, it is now displaying this. And I'll put this on our Twitter so people can see it.
That's very strange.
It's just, yeah, it's
And I could see if you were an old woman, that would freak you the fuck out.
It's a bunch of
Because
pandas.
you already
freak me the fuck out.
barely were able to get into your email account in the first place.
Yeah. It's 2 pandas are crying, and then the other ones have their hands over their mouths and face, while another panda seems to have been hung. Let's see. It's truly bizarre stuff. There's some Chinese writing on the images. A translator told us that the writing did not make a lot of sense, but it did mention cremation.
All right. Scary.
Mary was so troubled by the strange deal that she wanted answers about all of this. Quote, "One of my girlfriends sent me your link and said, 'Go ahead and get hold of Haley,' she said. Haley reached out to Amazon, who immediately began looking into it. They replied with a statement saying, quote, 'Our store maintains content guidelines with third-party sellers.'" And then, they got the thing removed. But basically, I just love the description. And the image is just very funny.
Yeah,
When you hear panda with human face, you go, "What does that even look like?" And then you see it and you go, "Holy moly, that's what that looks like."
it's not fun.
And he's pointing to a casket.
So,
It's fantastic.
instead of pumpkins, they're getting pictures?
No, that's just the image
That's
they
just a
sent.
thumbnail.
She doesn't know what they're getting. That's what has her worried. I think she
Oh.
canceled the order because she was afraid that
lame.
Oh,
some
dude.
pandas were going to show up or something.
That'd be fucking awesome.
It's
if it
nearly
was
her
just
daughter's birthday.
anthrax.
If a panda showed up with a human face on your daughter's birthday,
It's a good birthday, I think.
for
up.
somebody.
Hey, I'd like it.
It'd be a
Just shows
memorable
up and
birthday.
Starts quoting lines from Fast and Furious 5.
I've had worse birthdays than that. Like,
Yeah, it's not every day a furry shows up
Hey.
and starts cosplaying Vin Diesel as a panda.
Sounds cool, man.
Rivers, how accurate is your scale in there?
Should be spot on.
Well, then, ladies and gentlemen,
Uh oh.
for the first time in my entire life,
Are you in
I
the
am
200
officially
club?
over 200 pounds.
Hey, welcome.
Congratulations, dude.
Hey.
I am it's a weird mix of shame
Wow.
and pride. 'Cause
Damn,
on one
dude.
hand, I'm kind of proud. I didn't think I could gain 30 pounds in 3 months. I didn't think that was possible.
Holy shit!
Well, I
the
see how much
power-
you eat McDonald's and Taco Bell.
Yeah,
The power of binge eating and just doing nothing.
Well, I tried to warn you. I tried to warn
did.
you when you moved, and I was like, that McDonald's will become a problem.
and it did.
And it did. And it is
It
for
became a
everybody
big
when you
problem.
first move over here because it's so cheap. It's the closest thing.
Yep,
And you're like,
yep.
fuck it, it's quick. I just need something fast.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then pretty soon you've eaten a fucking McChicken and a double cheeseburger every fucking day for the last week.
Yeah.
And that's how depression happens.
Dude.
That much sodium.
Yeah, that'll do
That'll
it.
kick
Yeah.
that kicks it off every time.
Yeah, so now I have a choice. Either I can start making efforts to better myself and
Or
change
I
my
can
life.
sell you some of my clothes.
Because that is the thing is like I put on these pants that I haven't worn in like 3 months, and it was hard. It was a tough fit. It was-
Dude, yeah.
this is a bad moment for me.
If you're a true fat guy, there should be pants that you go in and out of being able to fit into all the time. you should have your big pants, and you have your dream pants, the pants that you fit into at one point, and it's your goal to get into them again, and you never will.
Dude,
but you keep them around.
I wouldn't be able to fit in these properly again because these used to be my favorite pants. Now they're so tight, my balls hurt so bad. All pants are so tight. That's why I've been wearing those shitty shorts all the time.
Yeah, dude,
I've
you
gotten. Oh my
You gotta start
god.
sagging and bagging like
This
the
is
90s.
bad. This is bad news. Or I could double down and just become real
You
fat.
could lean into it, baby.
I
Yeah.
could. You guys hungry?
We can show you the way. No, I just ate.
Well, yeah. Are you guys ready for our jam of the day
Dude, let's
today?
fucking jam.
Fuck yes. Our jam of the day today, this one was suggested to us by our executive producer at Eric Nelson 31. And this was such a good one that I got overzealous and got too many comments and then had to go back and take out so many because I had too many. This is a song that I was unaware of until, whenever Eric suggested it. I know this band, though. The band is Godsmack, and the song is Crying Like a Bitch.
Oh shit. My dad has a Godsmack tattoo.
What?
Oh, dude, that rules so hard.
Godsmack is just a
Because they were only popular for like 3 years in the early
they,
2000s.
They were just a shitty fucking Alice in Chains knockoff.
Metallica, dude. Listen to how this guy sings and tell me if he's not trying to do Hetfield so hard.
Oh, yeah.
He's trying real. Like he's trying to do Hetfield something fucking fierce, man.
That does jam.
This song, by the way, when it came out, it was released. The music video was released as a partnership between Godsmack and the UFC. So the music video shows like Brock Lesnar and like whoever the big stars were of like the mid 2000s training and knockouts, and I think there's a Silva in there too. It's one of those. So if there's MMA references in here, that's what the reference is to. But there's not a whole lot. It's mostly stuff like this. Miss Lil Sweets from 6 years ago. This describes my ex to a T. Even his own dad can't stand him. He is crying like a bitch now because he thinks who he cheated with is cheating on him. Pathetic. Not to be hated anymore, just a lesson learned.
That's pretty pathetic.
She clearly doesn't hate him anymore. You can tell by that comment.
I hate him
she's
so
over it.
little that I comment about him on YouTube.
That I talk about how his dad feels about him on Godsmack songs on YouTube.
These two from 4 years ago. This is dedicated to my ex, the infamous Justin Dennison. Just because you're still probably crying like a bitch right now.
Did you Google who that is?
No.
Damn.
I think
Snaps.
it's just this person just totally content with first and last names. So you don't give a fuck. John Giles from 4 years ago. I dedicate this to my bitch-ass coworker, Ashley, who's had it out for me since the first day she started working with me. She's picking a fight she doesn't want to get into.
Yeah, dude, she keeps saying, no, I don't want to be so close to you. No, get away from me.
I was checking my Facebook memories the other day, and I was just posting like frequently about how I hated my coworker, and I would just post about the dumb shit he said and about how sad and lonely he clearly is. And we're friends on Facebook now, but I don't think we were at the time. But now I'm worried if he ever goes back a couple of years.
If he hears this.
Yeah, he'll just.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Or maybe
just-
he knows how fucking sad and lonely his life was.
He does.
Maybe he's got.
That's why he's. That's why he's
has he gotten
angry.
better?
Angry. I don't know. I doubt it.
This one's going to take a turn. You'll see where. Shad Ebinger from 4 years ago. I dedicate this song to everyone working a 12-step recovery program or anyone presently in the United States military
Yeah.
or anyone and everyone ever affiliated with law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
You aren't anything but foot soldiers for a government that serves a fallen angel that is too afraid to show his face. Fuck you.
That's fucking tight. Dude, at first I was not on board, but now I'm on
Why?
board.
I was
Why the
confused.
12-step
Yeah,
people?
that's the part that's the most confusing. You could tell he's been court ordered to go to rehab.
That's exactly what happened.
It's so funny because you're just like, okay, this is gonna be a guy who's just really into cops and living right. No, he's like, what? You walk the line? Fuck you.
Yeah. No, 12 steps is bad though.
Sea Dino from 6 months ago. I love a good sea dino. Like the mosasaur. I dedicate this.
Oh, I was hoping it was the letter C dash dino.
It just says sea dino. Says, I dedicate this to all the chickens in the CVS parking lot.
Road raging, listen to Godsmack.
That's a cool ass dude.
Great time.
These guys won't fight me.
I'm pissed off at CVS.
No, I think he's saying that, like, in the parking lot of CVS, there's guys always trying to start static, and he's just like, fuck all you guys. You guys are afraid of me.
Well, I figured that he was talking about how they were crying like a bitch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. Or, well, I don't know.
What is this song about?
Crying like a bitch.
I'll tell you
Just
what the
crying
song...
like a bitch?
So
That's it?
I'll tell you what the song is about because there was a bit of debate in the comment section, as you might imagine.
Yeah.
But the official thing is Sully Edna, I think is his name, the lead singer of Godsmack,
Sorry, I was jamming too hard.
hated Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue.
That's her. That guy is a piece of shit.
And it fucking, like, they were on Crew Fest together, apparently, and they had this big falling out. And in this video, it keeps showing dudes get knocked out in the UFC. And meanwhile, Sully is singing with a boxing mic, like the kinds that hang from the ceiling,
From the 20s.
Yeah. He's singing on one of those, and the mic is taped up with athletic tape, and on it is written the number 6. So this is specifically
it's
about
a
Nikki
diss
Sixx.
Beef
track.
track, dude. I
This
didn't
is-
know metal had fucking
Yeah.
diss
Well,
Well,
tracks.
I'm on board with this. Fuck Nikki Sixx, dude.
Yeah. This one, James Crimson from 7 years ago. This song goes out to John Bono of U2. Keep running your fucking mouth, Bono, you little fuck.
You little fucking piece of shit. Bono, if you ever fucking say goddamn word to me again, I'm gonna send my boys from Godsmack so fast to fuck you up, you bitch.
I want to point out, he calls him John Bono. Bono's real name is Paul David Hewson. John not involved in his name whatsoever.
Who's John? Is he thinking of John Bonham?
Maybe John Bonham, but he's dead. I don't know why he's mad at John Bonham either.
John Bonham probably would
internet.
have hated this.
Yeah.
John Bonham probably would have been too busy having sex with children.
Well, he says specifically John Bono of U2, so he means
No, that is,
Bono.
yeah.
But
U2's like the second most hated band in the world behind
true.
ICP.
That's true. Sean Eggers from 7 months ago. So glad I'm seeing these guys live in April. Anyone else going to Newark, New Jersey?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that
Yeah, I bet that was a fun show.
yeah, that one probably didn't happen there. Larry Herman from 2 months ago. I'm 63 years old and shit, I want to rip my house off the foundation. I love it.
Meth will do that.
Yeah, that's also I got into shitty music at 40 years old.
Trinity Phillips from 3 months ago. I listened to this song while working out, and I know someday I will help someone who is unable to help themselves.
That's very noble.
He's gonna be a superhero, you guys.
Yeah, superstar.
I hope they mean that they think they're training for a situation where they'll have to like tackle an active shooter.
That's what they think. That's what they all think when they
No,
hear
wait,
this
wait,
shit.
when they're hitting the iron in the
They're
gym.
just imagining the scenario, like a 9/11 scenario, and they're there to save the day. Like, that's all they're fantasizing of.
Text from 1 year ago.
Tix!
I know all the lyrics, but do not fuck with my grandma, please. I'm not God, but I love my grandma. I love cars, but those are dreams for now. West Tennessee Reelfoot.
This guy, if you insulted his grandma, he would stab you. You could tell he's like that kind of guy. Anybody who mentions their grandma that much would die for her.
More fuel to the fire of my argument that girls low-key love butt rock. Lisa Moore from 6 years ago. Cage fights and Godsmack? Hell, that's just porno for me.
I think we found your new girlfriend, Daniel.
Yeah.
That's God. I can't imagine what that woman is like. I would love to see a picture
it's
of
not
her.
a woman.
Nah, you might be right about that.
Lisa Moore from 6 years ago?
No, okay.
I mean, I don't know.
If it says it on the
We
internet,
take it at
can't
face
be.
value. Yeah.
Anybody who says they're a lady on the internet is always a lady every time, no matter what.
Blood Moon Vampire from 4 years ago.
That's a sick ass name.
That is.
I dedicate this song to all my exes who bitch, moaned, and talked shit about me when I called them out for cheating on me. Mm-hmm. I can't post what I'm about to say on Facebook, but I already have a pussy and I don't need another one.
What?
I'm glad I have an amazing man in my life who treats me like a princess. He's like a gift from God.
Oh, it's because she has a vagina.
Yeah, she used to be a lesbian.
He's calling his ex.
But
no, she's calling her ex
ex's
a pussy.
pussies.
Yeah.
And what's her name? What's the username again?
Blood Moon Vampire.
No,
What do you bet the chances are the password to this account is Godsmack?
Well, here's the thing. I'm not one to victim shame. I am. But look, if you've been cheated on by so many partners that you've dedicated a song to them,
Yeah.
maybe you should start looking at your own qualities.
Yeah, you might be doing
Maybe.
something. You might be doing something, or you might be chasing the wrong type of person. And that's just our dating advice.
Hot and Heavy 81 from a week ago. My little brother cried like a bitch on his first day of school and used to run his mouth to shame me because he blamed me for stuff he's not right about explaining 30 plus years ago, but the past caught up with him for one last hurrah. Hashtag keyboard gangsta, hashtag Facebook styles, hashtag don't go there, hashtag grr.
Hashtag grr, baby.
Hashtag-
How long ago is this?
That was from 1 week ago.
1 week ago. Jesus Christ. 'Cause
Hashtag-
grr was a thing like 6, 7 years ago. So I was like, maybe
Damn.
this was like from when I was in high school.
I love people that are in like long-term feuds with like close family members. There's something great about that. Either something terrible happened or they're both morons.
Okay, Kenny Vaughter from 4 months ago. I am writing my book of quotes. I have thousands. I've worked really hard as I get tortured to survive death. Kenny Vaughter.
And you can contact them at my.amazing.ideas@gmail.com.
Kenny Vaughter from 4 months ago. The molecules of balance and harmony must vibrate complete. Kenny Vaughter. These are all quotes from himself.
From himself?
Yeah.
I'm glad that he's putting it here
Man.
because people on a Godsmack video, they probably need some
I used to
guidance.
live with a dude who one day I went into his bedroom because I thought the router was in there and I was trying to
Oh, no.
reset it.
Uh-oh.
And he has all these Post-it notes up on his desk that were quotes from himself.
Oh, okay.
And it was more embarrassing than if I would have found sex toys or something.
You have found a dead body.
To,
It'd be less
to claim that
embarrassing.
his fictional movie company makes visionary pictures.
This is also Kenny Vaughter from 4 months ago. Live your future in the present. Be your future in the present. Living your future, being in the present of now. Kenny Vaughter.
You mean Ram Dass?
And so I got curious.
This is one of those like Joe Rogan intelligent guys.
Well, I got curious. I was like, who is this guy? So I clicked on his YouTube page. He actually has 2 videos. One is just June 8th, 2018. And the other one is called Enlightened Nameless, Lincoln, 12 Setups, Scientists Around the World Target America Using International Space Station Terrorism.
Oh, I bet he has the inside scoop.
I got to piss so bad.
And the video is just a picture of a map, and he's written a bunch of crazy shit on the map, and he's following it with his phone as a trip hop version of Darth Vader's theme song is playing. And he doesn't say anything. He's just sort of showing you the things he's written on this map.
That's awesome. I love that there's somebody out there who there's a lot of people out there, 'cause that's how Trump became president, but there's people who are like, the news, I don't trust that fucking liberal media. Oh, but this guy, Fred 2719 on YouTube, oh, he's got the inside scoop. Yeah, let's see what he's got. Let's see what he knows about.
Yeah, he's got a couple points. I love this screen name. Rubber Mosquito 3rd Grade Outbreak from 3 months ago. And this might be rhymes.
So I'm just jamming. So
Check my stack on that background check.
Yeah.
I eat nails biotech.
Yeah.
He has sure used the hand of God is smacking. Mm-hmm. But it ain't me, hoes. I'm better. This is where the meter falls apart. I'm better today than ever. An army of you can't stand against Jesus and me.
That's man. If I had a record label, I would sign him, because that doesn't, that's not quite. It's not quite there yet, but I think there's some potential. That's a good rhyme. That's a good rhyme.
I got 2 more. Susanna Terabone from 2 years ago. Apple if I don't care. Apple into apolitical. I don't care.
Mm-hmm. I don't care either. Do you care, Sam?
Nah, it sounds like she's crying like a bitch.
She's crying like a bitch. And finally, Nightcore Kawaii _Wolf 45 from 2 months ago.
Password also got smacked.
And I love a good story. This is a fucking whopper.
A tale.
This is my song when I enter the ring.
They've never fought once ever in their lives.
Well, I don't know. He says, I have 35 wins by knockout, 0 losses, and unofficially, I have had 120 knockouts.
Dude.
Yeah, I think
This is a legendary karate match.
But wouldn't that be funny if it was like Brock Lesnar, just like
Those Hickson Gracie.
Yeah, just shit commenting.
There's more. I never had the easy way out growing up.
Neither have I.
My parents had nothing when I joined the Marines. That's where my love for martial arts began, and ever since then, I've been in either the ring or in the streets fighting. And for those of you who street fighting isn't anything compared to ring fights, you're right. It's actually better because you never know what to expect. For example,
all my friends who get in the most fights know the exact number of fights they've been in. They keep a tally mark after every fight.
This guy he's out fighting, so he's basically, ever since I got out of the Marines, I just can't stop assaulting people.
I've been violent my whole adult life, and that's the way to be.
Dude, listen to this guy's head movie. For example, I was getting into a fight with a prick who insulted my girl, and I thought it was going to be one-on-one fight, but next thing you know, 6 of his goons show up and jump me. Too bad for them that they couldn't fight worth shit. After I beat them up, I walked out of the bar with my girl in my arms, and I got in my truck and went home.
Man, Kimbo Slice.
And then they had crazy sex.
Yeah.
If you really did beat up 6 guys in front of your girlfriend, even if she didn't like violence, she'd be like, "Damn, you're a badass."
Oh yeah, you would have the bet. You would
get crazy sex.
You would get to raw dogger that night.
Yeah.
That's
there in the CVS parking lot.
That's incredible. But I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say that story was just a little exaggerated.
I bet this guy's fight record is probably 0 and 120.
No, it's just 0 and 0.
I have no doubt that this fella has gotten into some fights, but I do doubt that he has a girlfriend or a truck or goes
driver's
to CVS.
license, or money to drink at a bar. Also, the idea that you're a guy who's defends your lady's honor. If some guy insults her at a bar, I must fight you now.
Yeah. Would you like to step outside, sir? Well, yeah, that is Godsmack. That is Crying Like a Bitch.
Fucking jam.
That is our jam of the day. Shout out to our EP, Eric Nelson.
Thank you,
This was a great one. My God. Daniel, where can people find you online, sir?
Yeah, you can find me on Mac.
Give out your Switch account and see if people will play with you.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's a good question.
Switch.
Good point.
Right.
So on Twitter, you can find me on Magda Daniel. You can listen to my podcast, Reef for Sadness.
Yeah.
We're still doing a fun thing.
Yeah.
Write the wackiest fucking review you possibly can.
Yeah, go to...
If you beat up 6 dudes in a bar in front of your girlfriend, tell us about
Please tell us about makeup. Please tell us all of your best fighting stories as extreme as possible.
Yeah.
In the reviews of my podcast, Reef for Sadness, on all platforms. And then
But
also,
you specifically should write the review in Apple Podcasts because that's what I'm going to read.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's also more important.
Yeah,
and that
and-
just affects you.
And the funniest one, I'm gonna send you a T-shirt.
And I greatly appreciate that, River.
Yeah. So far we've got.
We got some good ones.
I'll just pick a random one. Goblin Witch says, "My grandma puts this on while smoking weed and says it scares away all the buff goblins."
Ooh,
That's hilarious.
I like that one a lot. That one made me laugh so
That's
hard.
almost in the style of one of those YouTube comments.
That's exactly what I was hoping for.
That's great. So yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, and while you're at it, if for some reason you've not, also head over and Rain Hours too.
Yeah,
and tell us what your grandma smokes weed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I got NBA 2K21, but nobody plays it on Switch. So if you're playing on
And
Switch,
specifically with you.
yeah,
People actively avoid
they
games
refuse to pay,
with Daniel's created
because I was like, I'll make a guy who looks like me. So he's like,
He's short and he's a ginger and he's 200 pounds. And then everybody else in the game is like 7 feet tall and they're just dunking on him.
That's awesome.
And not picking him in their pickup
so yeah.
games.
So add me at Little Carrot on Switch.
Little Carrot with a K.
Little Carrot. Yeah, that's my rapper / producer name. You're gonna
outstanding.
hear a lot from Little Carrot soon. There's,
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
there's a Little Carrot project in the works.
Sam, where can people
Slam
find you?
harder on Twitter. I'll be manically drinking coffee and posting soon.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, and find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rivers Langley. And, of course, you can go to patreon.com/thegoodspod. We just watched the Jay Leno, Pat Morita
God
classic
damn.
Collision Course. That's going to be
was-
coming out either today or tomorrow.
It was a really good movie that I remember absolutely nothing of. It was. Let's watch it again.
If you, yeah, I mean, if you got a head injury, it'd probably be more memorable than this film.
Oh, call me head injured, baby, because I love it. Now I'm going to go read some more of
Dude,
National
I need to
Sunday
read
Law.
that. I need to see what's
That's
going
to
to
be the crazy one.
But yeah, and also if you guys like comedy and if you like human rights, I'm putting together a political fundraiser for my friend Ian Dent, the co-host of the Violet Wanderers podcast. He is running to become America's first trans coroner, and his campaign is in some places coroner is still a elected position, and for people in the trans community, the coroner determines if you get on your death certificate your preferred name or if it reverts back to your given name. And so this is a big thing for that community, and especially for and because Ian's a great dude. So
Yeah.
And it could set a good precedent for the rest
exactly.
of
Absolutely.
Yeah,
because that would suck so bad to live your whole life like you
as
transition.
Lil Carrot.
And
And
you-
they're like, nah, this is Lil bitch ass Daniel.
Yeah, and then you're like,
Yeah.
that's not. And but like you live your whole like transition. You're like, Kate was so great. Then you
Right.
go to gravestone. They're like, who the fuck is Tony? I was
exactly.
hanging out with Kate all these years.
Right,
Like,
right, and that's a thing. Most in bigger cities where coroner is not an elected position, people maybe do the right thing. Smaller communities, particularly rural communities where that's an elected position, this is an issue. So we're doing a Zoom fundraiser. I'm going to have more details as soon as I'm going to try to get the lineup and everything locked down. But so far, we've got our friend from the Lady to Lady podcast, Brandy Posey, along with Gareth Reynolds of The Dollop. And so, yeah, we're going to try to have, a nice, fun little comedy show online and do that as a fundraiser for Ian trans campaign. And so that's going to be coming up on Saturday, October the 3rd. It's going to start at 5 o'clock West Coast time and go until...
Joe Rogan will be
Joe Rogan will be there.
supporter of trans rights.
Yeah. I will try. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I got coming up, and and I think
we got some more stuff in October too, but we should probably wait to announce that.
Yeah.
For the official dates. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Can't contain myself.
Absolutely, it's gonna be great. But yeah, that's what I got. So do all that stuff and rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes. Do it for us. Do it for Daniel, and give us 5 stars. That shows the attitude of gratitude.